Hey, all my worthy viewers, it's me, JD Review Master, and this is Worth of You Movies. And today I'm bringing to you a movie that is directed by Bong Joon-ho. It's Memories of Murder. And here to talk with me about it is the film nerd himself from Video Store Rejects. It's Cody House. Hey, Code.
Hey, Justin, thanks for having me. It's great to be on here and to talk about a movie I've been meaning to watch for quite a long time.
Yeah, this was your pick, and so tell me a little bit about it.
So this is, like you said, it's from Bong Joon-ho, the director, the award-winning director of Parasite. This is his second feature film. It is based on a true story about a series of murders that happened in Korea in the 1980s. And it's about a group of police detectives from the village and a hotshot city detective trying to solve it.
Nice. And how would you rate it?
I would say this is among his best films. Maybe not quite up there with Parasite, but it's a really well constructed procedural film, and there's some beautiful, amazing shots in this movie, particularly near the end of the film. And if you like something like David Fincher's Zodiac, this kind of did it first, even though they're both based on true events, but it's a very similar structured film, and it's more about the cops than it is the killer.
Okay, yeah. So my rating scale here is WTVM, so like a 4-star rating. What would you give it?
I would give it, yeah, I would give it that 4-star rating.
Wow, that's one of the first ones on this show ever. Yeah, and to hear what I have to think about this, let's head over to YouTube, where I actually really enjoyed this movie too. I'd probably not as much as you. I'll give it a WTV. I think it's really masterfully done. I mean, Bong Joon-ho definitely knows how to create and form a film and have it be, even though it's international and subtitles, have it be something that's interesting, and it's like a whole big adventure the entire time. He brought back his main actor that he likes to use, Kang Ho Sung. How do you feel his performance was?
I really liked his performance. He kind of starts off as kind of a buffoon, but he's really just a country cop. But really, by the end of the movie, he becomes like the moral center of this story because he's the only one not getting. Like, you see the effects that the job have on his health and his psyche, but he kind of becomes the moral center and is not as swept up in the obsession as the other guy is. Like, the other guy gets engrossed and is like, I have to solve this crime. I have to, it really takes a toll on him. But and I even like kind of the bookend of this. I don't know the true events, so I thought like, okay, is this movie gonna go on for like another 20, 30 minutes? Or and
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, it's just kind of a bookend to him trying to remember things from the past.
Yeah. So, do you think that that last scene is, like, is it like one of those movies where the you wake up and it's all a dream? Did was he just were we just in his memory the entire time?
Well, that would I didn't even think about that. I was thinking of it exactly like kind of like Zodiac, even though he's not like investigating, like he's just like remembering like, oh yeah, this is where it happened and this is why I'm not doing this job anymore.
Yeah. Some of, I mean, this movie is fun. It's really dark tonally. The colors is sort of darkish green with some black and gray in there. But yeah, the intimate settings were really interesting because I feel like Bong Joon Ho, he had players like come in and out without saying anything. I know that's literally like background work, but when you only have the three main characters and then like the person who's being interrogated, you don't really need passerbys. But for some reason, he had that. And I thought that was really interesting because it felt natural. It felt like something that would happen. And plus, maybe it does in in other countries. But my favorite part is when one of the investigators got so mad that he jumped over the table and just drop kicked the guy. I mean, how does a cop handle situations like that? I mean, that was so awesome. I mean, instead of like a backhand, it's just a drop kick over a table. Beautiful.
Yeah, and then everybody else's reaction to him doing that, especially the poor police chief who's just trying to, do his job and get it solved. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it's crazy, but badgering like a witness like that. What a way to do it. Um, yeah, I do think that this is like a mini masterpiece for Bong Joon-ho. I think this is actually one of his more popular movies now, maybe, or Mother. Now that everyone knows his name.
Well, yeah, because I had heard of this movie about 10 to 12 years ago because I watched a video with Tarantino around the time Inglourious Bastards came out, and he listed this as one of his favorite films that had come out post him being a filmmaker in Hollywood. And then when Parasite won the Oscar, Criterion did a release of Parasite, but they also did a release of this film, and that's what I was like, well, let me just buy this because I wanted to buy Parasite, and I was like, this will give me a chance to finally watch it, and that's
And
why
so
I picked.
you have the Criterion disc, and so you were able to watch it on that. How was that?
Oh, it's a beautiful transfer, and like I said, the shots are just so well done, especially that finale. Well, I guess it's not the finale, but that confrontation scene in the train tracks and how he kind of does those wide shots of the tunnels with the dark of the tunnel and the light of the outside. This is really well done.
Yeah, so even more depth into the story a little bit. So yeah, there's these investigators. They're trying to find this murderer. For some reason, there's patterns. There's rain involved. There's a song involved. How smart is that? That is so brilliant. It is a Zodiac killer sort of thing. It is, they really reach for their victims. I mean, I just thought that was really, really, really cool. What a way to, elevate the bad guy. I mean, and what's great about this movie is it's questionable. So it's a wild ride for sure. Do you have any last thoughts about the movie?
I think if you're a fan of Parasite and you want to see some more of what Bong Joon-ho can do or what's in his filmography, this is definitely worth a check. If you want to kind of test the waters before getting into more subtitled films, watch Snowpiercer or Okja, which is on Netflix. Those are both worthy recommendations. But yeah,
Absolutely.
if you liked Parasite or you like David Fincher's films Zodiac or Seven, I think this will be right in the company of those films.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. And yeah, I mean, you gave it a perfect score. I gave it a really, really high score. So we both really enjoyed it. And thank you for picking something like this because who knows when I would have gotten around to picking it. And yeah, thanks for joining the show for the first time. I've only had Rob do this, so I'm glad to have another person on. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at FilmNerd85. You can also check out my live streams of Video Store Rejects on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and I link our Twitter account on my Twitter page for the videos. And we are about to go talk about Ridley Scott movies, and we're starting that. We're going to do his first 4 films this month.
Yeah, awesome. Good. I can't wait because I'm actually going to be joining you for one of them. So yeah, look out there. Thanks again, Cody, for joining me, and thanks all the worthy viewers for viewing. Let us know what you think about this movie, or if you have any other questions about it. Until next time, we'll see you. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you, Justin. It was great being on.
My pleasure.